right, now I'd like to call this meeting to order. If everybody please stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Mayor Yukich?
Present.
Trustee Berrien?
Here.
Trustee Knightsky-Troike?
Here.
Trustee Swees?
Present.
Trustee Rogers?
Present.
Trustee Caprio?
Present.
Trustee Costa?
Oh, he'll be here in a little bit. He's over at the festival grounds.
Thank you.
I got confused when I saw Carlos there. All right. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
Yes, I'd like to add underneath old business the discussion of the Woodbine property mowing.
Okay. Is everyone all right with that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Mayor, I have one other, the discussion, I thought it was going to be on the agenda for the 24th, the wording on the bond issue. We were going to discuss, if you want to put that on the next agenda.
Yes, that sounds
Okay.
good. So we're going to put that under new business or old business?
Old business.
We think old.
Old business.
Okay.
For July 8th.
Okay. Then I need a motion to amend the agenda.
I so move.
I need a second.
I second.
All right, there's no more discussion because everyone's discussed on it, so all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the May 13th, 2015 Village Board meeting?
I so move.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Okay.
Call you on.
Yeah. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries. F, schedule of accounts payable. Is there a motion to approve the accounts payable for the period May 29th through June 25th, 2015?
I so move.
Is there a second?
I
Second.
second.
Doesn't matter.
Good one.
Sharon's move.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Costa? Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Swees?
Aye.
Trustee Berrien?
Aye.
Trustee Knightsky-Troike?
Aye.
Trustee...
Okay, this will be reports and communications from the mayor and other officers. I'll go first. I'll be short. I want to invite all our residents to the Homer Community Festival that starts tomorrow night, depending on the weather. It concludes on Sunday. This is one of our big festival events for the year, and I hope everyone gets a chance to enjoy the fireworks show, which as of now, it is going to be Thursday. Depending on the weather, it might be switched to Friday. We'll have the fireworks show, local vendors for food. We're going to have music every one of the nights, the carnival rides, and if anyone wants to know about it, they can go on the schedule and they can find it on the website or at www.homerfest.com. And mostly, I want to thank everyone that's on the festival committee. I was on it for 4 years before it switched up. I know how much work is involved in it, but it's probably the best and the most fun committee that we do have. And when the festival finally hits on that Thursday and we go, you just see how hard everyone does work on this and how dedicated they are to making sure that the residents of this village enjoy what we're doing. It does make money, and we do not borrow any money at all from the village or from the township for it. We have enough to actually fill it ourselves right now. It is the village's money, and it is the township's money and the highway department's money, but it's something that we can do something other than just spend it and not get anything in return. So again, I want to thank everyone for all the hard work that they do, and there's a lot of people that are involved in this. So tomorrow night, depending on how the weather goes, we'll announce it and we'll put some names to some faces so everyone knows who's doing this.
Can I ask a question relative to the fireworks? When will the decision be made, and how will we make people aware of the date change?
Well, the date would definitely be Friday if it's canceled for tomorrow, and the fireworks company will tell us tomorrow, depending on how. It depends on the wind, it depends if it's raining, it just depends on a whole bunch of things. As it stands right now, they said that we will be putting them off on Thursday. They don't see any issue to where it wouldn't be able to be done, but we don't know what we're gonna get tonight. They called for us to get a few inches the other day for Monday storm, and we didn't get anything.
Can I say something?
Sure.
We're making the decision in the morning. It depends on if they can set up in the morning. So it depends on how much water is in the setup ground.
And then how we're going to let people know that?
On
I guess the only way would be-
homerfest.com.
Oh, okay.
Well,
That's the
We
only
can
it
put
on
something on the website too,
We'll
can
put it on the
we?
village website immediately.
Okay.
Okay. All right, upcoming ribbon cutting ceremonies. Everyone is invited to attend the Early Family Dental's ribbon cutting ceremony on Thursday, June 30th at 3 p.m. Early Family Dental is located in the Bell Tower Plaza near Homer Helpers and Canine Couture. Also, there will be a second ribbon cutting that day at 3:30 p.m. for the home dialysis services, which is located behind Bell Tower Plaza. This business occupies the entire office condo next to the building with Dr. Cheryl Leopold's dental practice. The final ribbon cutting that day will be at SubHub at 4 p.m. SubHub is located in the Grove Valley Center with Roberts Tire and Auto. Thank you to all three of these businesses for choosing and to open up in Homer Glen. And last, I will be posting a weekly blog on the village's website. If you're interested in reading my blog, simply go to the search bar on the site and type in blog, and you will be directed to my blog. I think the information posted on my blog will be helpful to the residents interested in upcoming events and relevant village news. I anticipate posting my weekly blog on Monday or Tuesdays, so if you're interested, check the website on Monday, Tuesday for updated information. This is the easiest way that we figured out we can put it out to the public, so you do know what we're doing. We're also going to be putting on the village agenda to where when we get our packet, a lot of times you don't know actually what we're voting for because discussion's been before, maybe the week before, and now it comes before the people. This way everyone's on the same page as us, so they know what we're talking about. You know it before public comments, so you have an opportunity to bring some questions up. We're just trying to make it as easy as possible to keep everyone in touch with what we are doing. And with that, we'll turn it over to the trustees, and we'll start down with Trustee Caprio.
Well, I have just a few things to add for the Parade and Festival Committee and the fest that's starting tomorrow. We also have a Special Needs Day on Friday from 2:30 to 4:30 for special needs children within Homer Township. Saturday is the parade. At 11 o'clock it starts right near Pebble Creek, or it's actually 151st and Parker. And then also please note for everyone involved in attending, no pets allowed during the fireworks or on the fest ground for everyone's safety. We are always still looking for volunteers. You can contact the village or the township if you'd like to volunteer. I've been a part of the festival committee for the 5 years it's been in existence, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly, and I'm actually one of the chairs now, so please join us. It'll be a good time, and we hope you enjoy, and we enjoy putting this on for the community. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Caprio. Trustee Suisse?
Thank you, Mayor. The Environment Committee is seeking nominations for the Village's Community and Nature Awards. Please visit our website for the nomination forms, as the Environment Committee will be reviewing these nominations in mid-July. Also, just a reminder from the Homer Harvest Days Committee to mark your calendars for this year's Homer Harvest Days event, which will take place on September 12 and 13. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Suisse. Trustee Rogers?
I have nothing to report.
Thank you. Trustee Berrien?
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Trustee Percy?
Nothing to report.
Okay. Village clerk.
You want to do the treasurer first?
Oh, John?
Yes, Mayor, I have the Treasurer's Report of Cash and Investments at May 31st, 2015. It's the first month of fiscal 16. It shows the general fund with a balance of $4,846,034.73. The special event fund, $41,297.33. The environmental fund, $38,858.93. The motor fuel tax fund had a balance of $2,239,576.26. Land acquisition, $1,023,337.55. The Park and Recreation Fund had a balance of $2,346,133.50. Debt service had a balance of $695,091.01. Capital Project Fund, $3,716,072. The EAB Tree Replacement Fund had a balance of $478,198.63. And lastly, the CIP Bond Fund had a balance of $14,582,847.51. Total cash and investments, all funds, $30,007,376.17. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Village clerk.
I'm good.
Village attorney.
No report, but I'm happy to be back here at least for this evening. And hopefully I'll see you more often than in the past.
Any public safety officials? And village manager.
Mayor, very quickly. Some good news to report. So we're always glad to report on staff members or previous staff members that are doing well. So our administrative intern, Alex Yerk, who was here for 2 years while he was going through his graduate program at NIU, has been hired by the village of Bayside, Wisconsin. He's a new management analyst up there, so we're very happy for Alex. Glad to have him when he was here, help us with so many things, and glad to wish him well in his professional career as he moves forward. So there's that. In the report that I'm going to be sending out to the board, there's some information about the Canton Farm Bruce Road that I just want to draw your attention to. After your special meeting with Lockport and the two townships last week over at the city of Lockport, the county board had an opportunity to discuss this issue under public comment because one of the trustees from, one of the city council members from Lockport showed up and shared his thoughts, and then they spent 25 minutes discussing it on the county board level. So we've indicated in a video that we're going to send you exactly where that is. So I just encourage you to maybe spend those 25 minutes and take a look, and you'll get a little bit better feeling about what county board members are thinking about this issue because a number of them had comments about it. I just want to thank you for your continued support for staff's professional development. You know, I wasn't at the last meeting because I was at my state city management conference, the annual one. I think it was the first village board meeting I missed in almost 4 years, so I appreciate you letting me do that. It was an excellent conference. We had the opportunity to hear from Governor Edgar, who was at our conference, and he had just a few questions about pensions, as you might well imagine, and his various other thoughts about what's going on down in Springfield now. In addition to that, I heard from about 7 or 8 other presenters. It was very valuable. So just appreciate your continued support of staff's professional development. Mayor, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the next agenda is public comment. Could you please keep your remarks to 3 minutes? All we need is your name. So first one up is Lynn McGarry.
And I am Lynn McGarry, and I'm here for the Founders Club in Homer Glen, in Homer Township. I've given each of you a save the date and sponsorship form for our event coming in September. It's our 2nd annual Family Memorial Night at Kono Farm on September 11th. You can't forget that date. So please save that date. It should really be a great event, and I'll let you know how it develops, what we're going to add to it, what kind of activities we're going to have. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Lynn.
Mayor, can I speak?
Yes.
Ms. McGarry, I just want to congratulate you on your golf outing. I had a really good time. It was a great turnout. I think it's great for the community, for the businesses, and for us to have a chance to get together and see everybody outside of the workplace. And I think it was really successful, and the games were a lot of fun.
Good, thank you very much. I'm sorry I missed it, but I was someplace good.
Okay.
Second on the list is John Coy.
Congratulations. John Coy, 12056
You don't have to
Venetian
give the
Way.
address anymore.
No more?
No more.
Rats.
I think we
It was
all
so
know where
much
you
fun.
live.
All right, a while back, this was going to have to be addressed to Cameron. We had concrete footings put in at the Heroes Trail and Parker Road. The tops of them with flashing lights, letting the drivers know that there's a bike trail there is supposed to have been put in. And I have no idea why we're paying the money for it. We still don't have those lights there. So that would be Cameron or Mike. Would one of you fellas like to answer that?
Yeah, sure. We did have the concrete foundations installed for the lights to save the village money. Both John Robinson, EMA coordinator, and I are in the process of assembling the lights. We're also going to be bringing, since there was never any official ordinance approving those, we're going to be bringing those at an upcoming meeting to
The crossing.
the crossings to approve the installation of basically traffic control devices. So once that's done and we've got those assembled, with the help of probably the highway department, we will get those installed.
Thank you. It's going to happen after the ordinance?
Yeah, it's moving. It's moving actually slower than we thought it would. Should we maybe go through this again, we might have someone else put them together. But it did save us some money. Little lessons learned. We're actually doing it over at the EMA garage. It's one of the ways we use that EMA garage. If you go over there now, you'll see these big signals on tables being put together. So, but yes, we are going to have that on the agenda for the next Public Safety Committee meeting. Yeah, and the goal is to have them up as soon as we can. We know we've taken a little bit longer than we anticipated.
My sister-in-law lives over in that area, and today, some 3 kids on their bikes, and one almost got hit there, and I had mentioned this last fall that when are they going to put them in, and they're still not there, but the concrete's been there all spring, so, and the kids are off school. Another thing with the advertising. I got a paper today, the Joliet Herald. Now, how many Joliet Herald newspapers are sold in Homer Glen? Anybody have any idea? I don't. The thing is, if we're doing advertising for our village, I think we should have the stuff in the local newspapers, not the Joliet Herald. Joliet Herald might help for farther away circulation, but it is not. I'm not going to subscribe to the Joliet Herald just to find out what our village is doing, and I think it's a disadvantage to people that are getting a newspaper already, like the Tribune or the Southtown.
Can I ask you a question, John?
Yes.
What was the ad for?
Removal of lights in, I'm going to read it.
Right. So we often advertise, obviously if we only advertise RFPs or bids in our local newspaper, we'd only be getting bids from companies that are located in Homer Glen. So we oftentimes advertise obviously outside the area for RFPs and things of that nature so that we get a wider disbursement and get better bids. That's what we do. So hopefully that makes sense. We've been doing, most communities do that. If you only advertised in the newspaper that only serviced your community, you know, engineering firms or lighting firms or places that are in other locations wouldn't possibly hear about it. So we do that so that we get more response and hopefully lower prices for the taxpayers.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, that makes sense, but, I mean, I think you should do in both areas, not just,
Oftentimes we do.
Well,
you can't
what
just.
other papers did we put it in?
We oftentimes do it in multiple newspapers. So it depends on the circumstance and publication and things of that nature. There's all sorts of stuff that goes into it, timing. So.
Can I say something? Having worked on the advertising for the fest, the deadlines are different. So a lot of times the deadline for the Herald News is, they produce their paper quicker than the Horizon. So if you don't see it right now, you'll probably see it in the next edition. Does that make
All right,
sense?
see, this is out of today's paper through the Joliet Herald.
Right, so
Right.
you might see it in the next edition.
I've been,
Yeah, we
I
won't
get to Southtown, and
Yeah,
I've,
we
ever
won't
since
stop
I've
at-
lived out here, all the advertising, because the Southtown has over 1,000 deliveries in Homer Glen. The Horizon has what, 3,000 or 5,000 deliveries, and try and figure out how many deliveries the Herald gets in Homer Glen is probably minimal.
John, just so you know, the goal on these is not to reach the residents, okay? The goal is to reach contractors that we're seeking RFPs or bids from. That's what we're trying to reach. That's the purpose of them, to get the advertisements out so that we get more responses and hopefully a lower price for the taxpayers. That's the goal. And they're
All right,
also put on our website, so anyone that's locally here that wants to see them can just go really easily to our website and they're posted on there.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. I was a contractor myself, so with that, I still meet and talk to some retired contractors, and I still meet and talk to ones that are still in business. So when they ask me and I say, I don't know, it really doesn't sound right. I thank you.
Thanks, John. Dave Freedy?
Hi, Dave Freedy. I'm here tonight representing the Oak Valley Homeowners Association. If this is a repeat, I apologize, but I haven't missed the last couple of meetings. The last 2 weeks have seen progress in the construction on 159th Street. That progress has exposed some of our northern residents' backyards and homes to the realities of what this project is going to be. Specifically, their fences are taken down, and the whole yard is exposed now to the whole world. I passed last night the Big R store, and not to pick on them, but at 11 o'clock last night, their sign is, huge sign on the south side of the building is quite bright. There's also one at the street. I'm wondering if we couldn't give a little empathy to these neighbors who are going to have to look at this for the next 3 to 5 years and see if we can't put a switch on that light to shut it off, maybe at midnight to 6 a.m. I mean, what good's that advertising doing them at that time of night? So,
Is it on
just
all
a
night, John?
suggestion.
Is it
I don't know that it's on all night, George. I haven't been there at 3 o'clock in the morning, for instance, but I suspect that it is. If I was running the business, I would do that too.
Well, when we went in there before, they said to us that it does have a timer on it. It is supposed to be going off at nighttime. Because like you said, the traffic's
Well,
minimal and.
then I apologize, but I
Well,
think we
but
need to
gotta make sure
verify.
that it is, 'cause
I don't want to stay up all night to verify.
3 o'clock, I'm sleeping too, so.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know. Could we call down there tomorrow and see
We
if
will
we can
talk
get
to
the
them,
path?
yeah. You know, we've obviously had a lot of conversations about a lot of signs on 159th Street, and I myself can't remember if that was a condition on that sign, or if they said that. I know some businesses have. So, but what we'll do first, though, is we'll just, either Janie or I will contact him and see if we can't get him just to comply.
We will look into it for you.
Okay, thanks for your consideration.
Most of these signs are pretty sophisticated these days, so.
All right, that's it for public comment. Next is legislation and action items. So the first thing on our schedule is I need a motion to amend the Administration and Finance Committee's regular meeting schedule to the fourth Wednesday of the month at 4 p.m. It is understood that in 2015, the November and December meetings will take place on the fourth Tuesday of the month at 4 p.m.
I'll make a motion.
I need a second.
A second.
Is there any discussion?
I'm just saying, I think we should try this for a while to see how it works. If these meetings, if back-to-back meetings, I think, are too long, maybe we'll want to pick out a different date for A and F.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's fine, because this is kind of a trial
It's a
basis.
Okay, try, okay.
All right, Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Suisse?
Aye.
Trustee Varian?
Aye.
Trustee Metzger-Troicki?
Aye.
Number 2, is there a motion to approve resolution number 15007, a resolution providing for and requiring the submission of a binding public question concerning limiting the terms of office for the Village of President and the Village of Homer Glen? to appear in the ballot of the elections of the Village of Homer Glen on the general primary election to be held March 15th, 2016.
I so move.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
We need a correction of trustee
Yeah,
Caprio.
you have the correction on your table. There's one word that got, that just appeared on this second draft, and it's been crossed through, I think, in front of all of you. The word consecutive
Yes.
on the ballot, so that's been crossed through.
What it amounts to is 8 years, whether it's consecutive or split terms, it's 8 years is the maximum. Any other questions or discussion? You guys can move down. Okay, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Suisse?
Aye.
Trustee Barrion?
Aye.
Trustee Hetzke-Trojke?
Aye.
Could the record show that Trustee Costa just got in? Just to keep you up to date, we just did the one for the resolution for putting it on the ballot in March 2016 for the terms. And it would be basically on the ballot March 15th, 2016, saying that no one can run more than 8 years total.
Thank you. Okay.
He can vote if he'd like to.
Mike, you want to vote, or?
Yes, I'm an aye.
Okay. Okay, so motion carries. Third on the agenda, prevailing wage ordinance. Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 15428, an ordinance adopting the required prevailing wage standards in the Village of Homer Glen, Will County, Illinois?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? Okay. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Barrion?
Aye.
Trustee Suisse?
Aye.
Trustee Costa?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Hetzke-Trojke?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 4, is there a motion to approve resolution number 15008, an IDOT resolution concerning the waiver of surety bonds for construction on the state highways?
So moved.
That's Trustee Barrion, second.
I second.
Trustee Suisse, is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Hetzke-Trojke?
Aye.
Trustee Barrion?
Aye.
Trustee Corky? Trustee Costa?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Suisse? I'm tired.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next one, is there a motion to approve resolution number 15-009, a resolution supporting preservation of local funds?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Costa?
Aye.
Trustee Hetzke-Trojke?
Aye.
Trustee Barrion?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Suisse?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 6, is there a motion to direct the mayor to send a letter to the Illinois Department of Transportation concerning the department's recommendation to award a contract to the apparent lowest responsible bidder, deconstruction for the construction of the south extension into the Village of Homer Glen's Hero Trail in the amount of $444,363?
I so move.
Is there a second?
A second.
Is there any discussion?
Okay, this $444,000, so people, our cost is about 88, is that,
Yes.
is that the total?
The village has, it's an 80%, 20% with the local
Okay.
match being 20%.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we've got it in this year's budget, even though it, we weren't sure what the cycle would be for actually construction.
Right.
So we've got it in there as a place center.
Okay, good.
But it is only 20% of the cost of the village. Okay, is there any other discussion? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
I'll try. Trustee Barrion?
Aye.
Trustee Suisse?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Costa?
Aye.
Trustee Hetzke-Trojke?
Aye.
Okay. Under old business, we have two things that we put on the agenda. One is the woodbine mowing, and that was Trustee Rogers that brought that up. Do you want to start it, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm under the understanding that we're no longer proceeding with the golf season for the 2015 and 2016 season. I think that in discussions that with the Ludwigs, and that this was in the best, especially with all the flooding that, you know, we've seen over this past week or so. It was definitely something that needed to be called. So my question is, when will we now move to regular mowing as opposed to mowing it as if we were going to golf?
We did that already.
Right, so that direction's already been given. And we had a really good meeting this week. So Trustee, we went out, and you know what, your last name always, I get to your last name. I get to your last name and I just stumble.
Knightsky.
So, Knightsky, we, my apologies. So anyway, we, everybody knows I know her, but we had a really good meeting out there on site, and she wanted to basically hear from the landscaper. So we had R&R out there, and we met Scott and I and her, and we, he kind of gave us a feeling for what the property would ultimately look like in 30 to 40 days. And answered our questions, and he'd be willing to do that to anybody who would like to call him, and I'd be happy to give you his number. But yeah, that transition has occurred now, and they're going to also be doing a little bit more trimming, okay, because there's some areas that we need to have a little bit more trimming, and we pointed that out to him, and he's going to get right on that, and going to be removing a number of dead bushes and things of that nature. So we had that meeting just this past Tuesday, I think, or Monday, yeah, so.
Now, I know previously we talked about the need for some more trees that had to come down.
Right.
Has that happened?
A little bit over 50 trees. No, that has not happened, and we still have some holes out there that are unfilled. We have been in conversations with Homer about coming out, Homer Tree Care about coming out and doing that. And there was a little bit of a reluctance to do it when it was so wet, when there was a chance it might be going back into golf, because they were afraid of the damage that they'd be doing to the fairways. And it was not going to be significant golf damage, but it would be enough that it might disrupt golf. So now that we know that that is, I know Mike's been back in contact with them, and we might have help from one of our village trustees who knows some people there to get them out on the course and get those trees removed. We really want to do that. And more importantly, we need to get the holes filled from the previous trees that were removed, because we have a lot of holes in the property. So
and who will be doing that?
Homer. It's part of their contract. Yeah, to do it all. We have another 58 trees to come down. A lot of which are immediate. A lot of the trees that are yet to be removed from the second wave are adjacent to properties, so they're along the edges of the property.
I know another thing that I've been hearing relative to the property is the fencing. Was there an issue with the fencing out there?
Right, we've gotten a number of calls. I mean, it's always kind of a struggle to figure out where rumors start, you know, no matter what community you're in. I can say, and we got a number of calls by people who've heard that we're removing the fence, which of course we're not doing, and the board has never discussed that, and never given me direction to do that. So I know that I think the mayor is going to be sending out a letter to the immediate property owners explaining to all of them that there's no intention to remove the fence. So the fence is a huge asset for the village because it helps to control access to the property and provides a natural buffer between the adjoining properties. So there's no intention to remove that fence.
And we're actually maintaining that fence? Like if the holes come?
Right, actually, yeah, we've actually, just this past week, I think John Robinson was out there mending a hole that had appeared in the fence. So yeah, we'll keep a good, strong eye on that, and if anything else like that happens, we'll mend it up.
Okay.
May I just offer a suggestion real quick, too?
Yes.
Simply because we're not moving forward with the golf course, and I don't want to take anybody off guard, but we've had, from what I understand, people playing out in the field there, so we probably want to look at adding a little more eyes to the grass and just making sure, because of the holes and things of that nature, that the public is safe. And
right. So actually, we, as far as I know, and I ask staff pretty regularly, we haven't actually gotten any calls from any adjoining property owners saying that there have been people out there. However, our landscaper, our lawn mower did report when we met out this week that there had been a couple people out playing while they were mowing, and he's agreed to let us know, to tell his staff when they see that, to let us know right away.
Yeah, I just think it's important to
So-
keep a bigger eye on it.
Right, right. So it is as you guys know, it's a large property, and if you want to go to the very back of it, you can't really be seen from the front. And so we do rely on the neighbors and the people that work for us, the contractors and stuff, and our good friends at the library and the township and various other people to let us know, and then we'll get out and try to address it when they're there.
Great, thanks.
Can I just say one thing? There looks to be some questions in the audience about why we're not moving forward with the Ludwigs. I know, Beth, you began to say something, and
I'll handle that, because I was the one that was working it out with Mr. Ludwig. Mr. Ludwig was supposed to take over the golf course for the remainder of this year and for 2016. We had talked it over a bunch of times, and it was on, it was off, it was on, it was off. Finally got to the point where it was off because first it was delayed for a very long time, and half the season was gone. He had a contract that he would have signed with a golf cart company that if anything did happen, and Mr. Ludwig knew that if we found it a flooding problem or the issue with the grounds, if we had to go in there to fix it, he'd have to close the course. It was a stipulation we put on there because we were worried about the residents that live around it. And a lot of the flooding isn't even, most of the flooding is not even around the golf course. Most of the flooding is a couple blocks away. But either way, we have to fix the problem that's out there, and we figured the only way we could do it is if we find the problem and we can fix it by bringing it back to the golf course, we had the option to do it. So we did it purposely because, you know, they say there's 100-year rain, and it's big distances between them. Well, I think there's been 500-year rains in the last 4 or 5 years.
It's the truth.
And the problem is you have a lot of residents that the basements flood. It's killing all kinds of vegetation. It's dangerous. So we just figured that right now, for the money that we would save for cutting the grass and having him pay for it, we'd be spending it on the plumbing anyhow. So we're going to figure out where the flooding's coming from. We're going to get it addressed and end that problem. And I honestly didn't believe that Mr. Ludwig would make any money because with the delays and then opening it up and then having the backhand where he would have to close if we needed it, that it just wasn't fair to him, and it wouldn't be fair to the village because I don't want the residents to suffer because of it. As for the fence coming down, the fences will not be coming down anywhere. The only thing that I would like to have this board to be able to look at is I would like to see if we could get rid of the razor whip and barbed wire, because it looks like a prison if you're in someone's backyard that lives around it. I don't think we really need the razor whip and barbed wire, but that's going to be a discussion for you guys to figure out what you want to do with it and sit down with the residents to make sure that they're okay with us doing it. But other than that, the golf course is a dead issue right now. We're going to make it a park. We have the letters out to all the engineers so they can give us a price and tell us where the problems are and what we have to do. And as soon as we get that, we are going to be contacting the, actually before we have the final results, we'll be contacting all the park engineers to see what we can do, how we can do it, and where the cost is going to be. And then from there, we'll start baby steps and do it as we have the money. Anyone else have anything? Okay. So if that answers your questions or you have a question, we'll be happy to answer it. What do you have, Bob?
Well, it's very simple. I thought we were going to maintain a 9-hole golf course at least for 2 years.
Well, what we were going to maintain was an 18-hole. A 9-hole, well, that's what we had set up with Mr. Ludwig, is to do 18 holes. All right. And when we asked around to companies if they would be interested in doing a 9-hole, not one company said they would be interested in it. They didn't want to fill out any forms. They're not interested at all. It's too small of an area. They're surrounded by houses. Do you put the 9 holes in front? Do you put them in the back? You still have to worry about people that are going to be on the park because people are still going to be hitting into them. You know, not everyone's a good golfer. I know I'm not. I would definitely be beating somebody.
I'm on the course.
Right. But, well, what it is now, we're going to try to figure out something that we could actually put on the land that everyone still can use. We're looking into something right now, but I don't have enough information to fill you in on it. But
So you're not talking sports programs, are you?
no, right now, we're not talking anything. We want to wait until after the executive session is done. I mean, after the
study.
the study is done by the engineers. And then once the engineers are all set, then we find out what we can and what we can't do. You gotta remember that the golf course, it has all kinds of French piping in it which holds water, directs the water. It has retaining areas that are under some of the fairways. We can't mess with a lot of it because then it's gonna cost that much more for us to alleviate what we're gonna, produce by moving some of the stuff. So right now, nothing's gonna be done in it until the engineering's done. Then from there, we can tell what will be done and what won't be done.
Well, you have to admit that the rain that we have been getting is not nasty.
You're right.
So whether it's a golf course or a farm field, it is flooded. I talked to my farmer friends. For all practical purposes, this year is a bust. Their crop is ruined. So, and what about the people who live there?
Well,
Are we just saying,
no, not at all. We're sending out a letter to them, and I'll read what we're sending out to them. But when it rained hard on Monday, I've gone by the golf course twice now when it's rained very hard. The golf course does exactly what it's supposed to. It's got about 31 acres that can hold up to 2 feet of water, and it's almost dead center. From there, it goes into all the retaining ponds that are around it. It gets filtered through. When it's all said and done, it goes to a sewer that is on probably the northeast section of the golf course. It's closer to the north than it is to the south. That disperses through Woodbine, goes through 2 houses underground, and from there it disperses. Where it is having a problem, and it's only when you have a torrential, because like I said, 31 acres can hold about 2 feet of water. That's a lot of water. Somewhere down the line, it's flooding. It's got to be a block and a half to 2 blocks away from the golf course. So it's hitting Woodbine, and it's also hitting Pebble Creek. So we're trying to make sure that all this stuff can be taken care of. So we can't do that until the engineers are done. Otherwise, if we could have done something different, Jim Ludwig would have been on the golf course for at least a year and a half. Right now, that's our biggest concern, is let's get this taken care of. We'll decide as a village what's going to go on as the rest of it once we get all the prices of what it's going to cost.
well, I think the business moved over the land to another county.
Well, we do too.
That's our enemy doing.
And I do understand that, Bob, but, the problem that we have here with Mr. Ludwig, and I think he realized it too, it's been closed for, half a year. There are no leagues. There are no golf outings that are scheduled there. A lot of people know it's closed, and a lot of people, they found other courses. So for really us to ask Mr. Ludwig and try to push him into it to sign that contract, that would be a disservice to him, and that would embarrass me by doing it, because I don't think, he's signing the contract and we're not promising him any money. And it's about time that we get this flooding problem fixed.
Well, comes in the outline.
Sorry, we already own it, buddy. Okay, with that being said, we still have one more thing under old business. What happened to my sheet? Oh, it's on this one. Okay, last one is, Beth, it was,
Sharon.
okay, the bond issue. Sharon, you want to head this one up?
Oh, no, I just wanted to, when we discussed the bond issue on July 8th, I wanted it to be an action item so that the wording is updated to show what meetings originally had the bond issue for.
Okay, so that was going to go back to A&F?
Oh, it's going to go back to
That's what we
A&F
talked
first,
about
okay.
today.
Okay.
So then it would be on the first meeting in August at this point, right? Yeah, the
Right.
first meeting in August.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that
Fourth
okay?
Wednesday, first meeting.
Yeah, we're gonna get that out to the committee though, probably next week, so you have plenty of time to look at it.
Good.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry, one more thing. Cameron, can we post a copy of the letter that's going out
Absolutely.
on the website? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Actually,
It'll be posted on the main part of the website, and I think the mayor will probably want it posted under his new blog.
His blog.
There's
too.
only,
Which, by the way, for those of you who are, because I know we have a lot of people in the audience in particular, and maybe watching out there that watch regularly or hear regularly, the easiest way actually to get to his blog is to go right under government, and the very first pull down says mayor, and then right underneath that it says mayor's blog. And so that's where that will go to.
Or you could go to the search bar
Or
and
the
type in
search
blog.
just hit blog, and then bring it up.
there's only,
It's easier that
sorry.
way.
There's only one change to that letter, right? It's just the add
I think
Saddlebrook?
that you had mentioned the need to maybe, if we're gonna mention subdivisions, to mention Pebble Creek, which we.
Saddlebrook.
Saddlebrook.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hello, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, the letter that's going out to them says, "To the residents of Woodbine and Woodbine West Subdivision and Saddlebrook. By now, you may be aware that the decision to discontinue golf at the former Woodbine Golf Course has been made. We have had numerous discussions and meetings with the Ludwig family, and it is both the village and Mr. Ludwig's opinion that to continue allowing golf during the 2015-16 season could potentially hinder the work needed to address the flooding issues many of you are experiencing. Our request for proposals went out to several engineering firms, and I will make every effort to continue to keep you informed of our progress in addressing the flooding issues. On a separate note, I have heard many rumors concerning the Woodbine property. The one I felt that is extremely important to address is the fencing that borders the Woodbine property. This village has no intention on removing this fence and felt it imperative that we address this rumor. And as always, I urge you to contact me or members of the village board regarding any concerns. I strongly encourage you to visit our website at www.homerglenillinois.org for updates. And it will be updated every Monday or Tuesday. Sincerely me. So with that, we are set, and this will be posted on the website. Is there any new business?
Mr. Mayor, just briefly. And we know the weather's been bad, but can somebody contact ComEd and see when they plan on cutting some of their properties, especially Saddlebrook, the property that goes through there, the ComEd easement, whatever you want to call it?
Very good.
Those weeds are up higher than the people's fences.
Very good. Thank you for letting us
So we
know.
could just see when they.
They're usually very responsive, so we'll call them tomorrow.
There, thank you.
Okay, if there's nothing else, we need to go into executive session. So I need a motion to,
So moved.
okay.
I second.
Okay, here. The next item is executive session. Is there a motion to go into executive session for purposes of discussing the hiring, performance, and compensation of personnel? Now I need the motion.
So moved.
Okay, second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Or do I do a roll? Let's do a roll call. Madam Clerk.
Trustee Costa?
Aye.
Trustee Tricky?
Aye.
Trustee Varian?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet?